Yeah, g'day guys. Today we're in the workshop and we're going to be using the old lathe and we're going to turn a bit of HDPE plastic. Here we go.
Found a new use for the crane. Do some whacking.
Someone said it's a tiny deck.
Bit of a tight budget on this one.
This is the HDPE plastic that I was telling you about. We went and made a few billets with a friend of mine who's also a YouTube creator, a maker. His name is Wulf from Armory Terrain. Now, if you click on the link down in the description, you'll be able to go directly to his channel and check out, or I'll put it up in the corner and you'll be able to check out how we made it. I'll put a couple little snippets of what we were doing, how we got to these particular parts, but basically it's just milk bottles, and we've put them in the oven and softened them all up and then pushed them into a can and put a little, use this circle timber which we cut out of with a hole saw and made it as a plug, so we just squashed it in there once the plastic was inside. So we've got a few different colors and shapes, and this one here, not sure if you can see it real well, it has like a cold join because we used two big lumps. We're hoping that it was going to bond, but it may or may not be so good when we spin it up on the lathe, so we'll give that a shot. This is just a bit of daggy crap on the top, so that's what milk bottles turn out like, with a couple of orange bottle caps in there, so just to give it a bit of texture. Yeah, it's got another cold little joint in there, so this one didn't compress as well. This one worked really well. It's we just got to cut the stuff off the top and then face it off on the lathe. So we just face it off so it's nice and flat, and not quite sure what we're going to do with that one yet. Maybe a hammerhead or something. And this one turned out exceptionally well. So this was actually Pepsi Max bottle caps, just the caps. There was quite a few of them, and we softened them all up in the oven and got them to virtually melting point, and then jammed them in one of these cans and made a billet. That's sort of what you would call a billet. So we'll chuck these on the lathe and spin them up and see what happens. It'll be really interesting to see what happens with this one. I think it'll separate. I'm hoping it doesn't, because I've got a little idea for this one. Sort of might try and make it into a sphere, like a ball on at least that half, maybe. If that works, and you watch that part of the video, it worked. If not, we'll make hockey pucks. Not that we play hockey here in Australia, ice hockey. Yeah, so we'll have a bit of fun with those. Let's stick them in the lathe and see how we go. I'll show a little clip of how we made the HDPE plastic into molds and things like that, make them into billet, but I'll run this little clip and you'll be able to see what we actually did and how we got to making something like this. Let's have a look, see. Door knob or a gear knob or something with that one. Maybe a pulley. We'll see how it looks. We'll put our heads together and work out what we're going to produce.
And if we can't think of anything else, I'll carve it into a skull, because, you know, skulls, why not?
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Damn plastic. What a mess. We're going to try the dodgy one, or the one that I think might separate. So I'll cut off the front first, all the scraps and bits, and then I'll thinly just tidy it up so it's a bit parallel, and then I'll drill a hole all the way through, like all the way through, and then I can put a bolt all the way through it and a nut on the other end, so if it does separate, it's not going to explode and smack me in the head. So not that that's enjoyable. I've also made a catch for all the swarf. Like, I've got a big pile of the white swarf, looked like snow before, and that'll all be able to be melted back down from the same process as we did in Wulf's video. So far all we've got is this little ball, which I think Wulf will be able to do something with. It's got a 10mm metric thread in it, so if anything, if he can't or doesn't seem to think he can do something, it'll be a gear knob. So, but that little thing before, that sort of a can, and then that's all the waste. There's a fair bit of waste, so I imagine there'll be the same for this one. So I'll be able to catch it all and I won't go on the floor and make a mess, because it's all mixed up down there with metal filings and so forth. So anyway, we'll start cleaning this one up a little bit and see if we can actually do something with it. Here we go. So this is what we've got at the moment. It does look quite rough. Hopefully that should turn up as some sort of a ball, maybe. That bit's still got some cracks in this lower part here, so just not real good. Hopefully it doesn't come apart. Like the threaded rod goes all the way up to here, so there shouldn't be any real issue with that. On the old ball making machine, check out the link in the description on the video that I made that with. It was only just the other day I had to whoop that thing up just for this specific project. So yeah, show you all the trials and tribulations and how I adjusted and things like that. So good little bit of gear. I did the other little round one with it, so see what we can do. Anyway, let's get into some more turning. Here we go. I will hand this back over to Wulf, and we'll see what he sort of ends up doing with it. It has some really nice marbling in it with that orange bottle tops that were in it, and just the texture in it looks really good. Can we get a close up? Sort of looks like it's fallen apart, but it held in there really well. Like, see those 3 lines there? That's the edge of the can, the rings in the can that we used as a mold. It happened in 2 spots right there and there. But I think his plan for this one is a skull of some kind. So if that's the case, or even just the end of a sword handle, you know, like Excalibur type sword, with a 10mm thread in the middle. I had to go all the way through so I could bolt it and it wouldn't fly apart on me, because we just don't know with some of these. Job's done. That's the big one, and then we got the little one. So it'll be really interesting to see what Wulf ends up doing with them. Yeah guys, so we're finished on that job. Made myself a couple of really nice big plastic bowls in case I need a spare set. But they're going to go to good use anyway. Wulf's going to make something out of them with all the other stuff that he does. So I'll hand them over to him and he'll be able to show us what we can do. So guys, thanks for watching as always, and we'll catch you on the next one. See yous.